Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, June 28th, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. I really do appreciate the support as usual. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. It makes a big difference for YouTube pushing my channel out to new members. So before we get started today, we're going to start off as usual. We're going to do the US dollar DXY analysis, full top down from the monthly to the 1 hour. We're going to look at all the US dollar pairs, including gold. Look at all the yen pairs, probably go look at a couple commodities, crypto, at least Bitcoin, and probably the stock market. But one thing to notice is right now, actually just starting right now at 2:30, we have a whole bunch of people talking right now. We have President Lagarde talking. We got somebody from the UK, Bailey speaks. We got somebody from the Bank of Japan is speaking. And we got old Fed Powell speaking. So we got a lot of speeches going on right now, so I would expect to see some volatility over the next hour or so, for sure. So definitely keep an eye on your trades, keep an eye on everything, make sure that you are using good risk management as always. So let's get started. So DXY. So on the DXY, I still think this does look like a wave A. This does look like an A, B, C, or B, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Definitely got a nice impulsive movement to the downside. We have a break of structure, but it hasn't really held below structure yet. It does look like it could possibly make a bigger correction, but I still think if this really is the end of a wave C, then it will make a downtrend, make lower lows and lower highs, if it really is the end of a wave C. So let's take it down to the weekly time frame and switch back to the dollar index. As you can see, the dollar index is going up pretty strong. And I mentioned this quite a while ago. I've been talking about this for at least 3 or so weeks now. I still think this first move down is most likely a 1. I still think this move up is most likely an A. But there's definitely a chance that this is a B, and then this turns into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C, and goes all the way up to like the 61.8 or even the 78.6. And it could still definitely be a wave 2. Sometimes wave 2s go all the way to the 78.6 and even the 88%. So it could definitely still end up stretching out and turning into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Now, we don't really know that for sure yet. I'm still looking at that move up as possibly a correction to the move down, but I am definitely looking for longs on sort of time frame while we learn whether it keeps on trending up in like a wave 3, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C, or whether it really is a correction to the downtrend. So now taking it down to the daily time frame, you can really see the contracting triangle that we got here too. We got a line slanted down on the top, we got a line slanted up on the bottom. So it may actually be in some sort of a consolidation, some sort of a triangle right now. It definitely still looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. It definitely looks like 3 ways down for a B, and it still looks to me like a complete uptrend for a C. So either we have a few options here. Like I said, either this is a 1, 2, and we're going to turn at one of these fib levels and continue the downtrend for a 3, 4, and 5. Or the other option is that maybe this really is a 1, 2, and this is actually going up for a 3, 4, and 5 of wave C. I think that would look a little bit on the odd side if that is what it does. I think that's probably the most least likely scenario. I think maybe the more likely scenario is that we're in a triangle and we have an A, B, C, maybe even a D, and then now we're probably going up for like a wave E or something. So either this is a 1, 2 or it's a D, E. If it's a D and an E, it very easily could go all the way up to the top of the triangle and then end up going down, turning at one of these fib levels. If it's a wave 2, it could definitely turn at the 61 or the 78% and continue down like that. So we definitely have a few possibilities, but usually we do, and the more that we can see and observe the possibilities, the better off we are, so that way when something happens, we're not really surprised. I still think the first move up to me looks like a wave A. I still think it made almost a perfect 3 waves down, and I still believe this move up is a wave C possibly. Like I said, it may just keep on stretching out. We are at the 61.8 right now, so if you do see an impulsive engulfing move to the downside, that's what's going to would tell me that the wave C is over. I am definitely not going to go short unless I see that engulfing move to the downside, because it very easily could go up to the 78 and very easily could just keep on going, just like I was showing on the daily time frame. So luckily, I think this is a wave C, but if it turns into a wave 3 and just keeps on trending, then luckily I'm looking for longs on shorter time frames. So if this turns into a wave 3, that really shouldn't affect us really at all. If anything, we're just going to have more profitable trades. So going down to here, let's adjust this a little bit, make this look a little better. So going down to the 1 hour time frame is where you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. Very, very clear 3 waves down right here for the B. And it still looks to me like a 1, 2, 3. We are at the 61.8, so if it makes that 3, 4, 5 shape, then impulsive down, then a break of structure, that is the only thing that's going to make me go short, is seeing a break of structure like that. If I see that, I'll know it's an ABC correction, and I'll be going short for the continuation of the downtrend. If it bounces off this fib level but never breaks structure to the downside and then keeps on making higher highs, higher lows, then we will never go short, because we will not have a break of structure. We'll just keep on going long at the end of the pullbacks for the continuation, potentially, of an uptrend. I still think there's a good chance it's a wave C. I still think it's a good chance that we will turn at the 61.8, but the market may have different ideas. I'm not going to go short yet, but if I see something like this, then at that point I definitely will take the shorting opportunity. So now what we're going to do is, we know that we're at an important fib level. We know that it could definitely make that 3, 4, 5 shape and then go down. So we're going to take that information and we're going to apply it to all the other US dollar pairs, including gold. And we're going to see if we can figure out what the US dollar is going to do and what all these US dollar pairs are going to do also. So if you haven't joined my free Discord, I see so far there's been 10 votes and 50% of people said that they have not joined my Discord. It's 100% free to join. You do not have to pay a penny if you do not want to. It's 100% free. The link for that is in the chats and in the description. So definitely check that out. We are approaching 3,600 members, so definitely give that a look if you haven't done so already. 100% free to join. I do have a paid membership, but you do not have to join my membership. You can stay a free member for as long as you want. So going up to the daily, now looking at all the dollar pairs is why I don't really believe that the dollar is just going to turn into a big uptrend, because I don't really think that would make sense for any of the dollar pairs. I think that what we have here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. I think that it could definitely make a push down, make a bigger wave 2, and then go up for a wave 3. But right now, it looks like we're in an uptrend, and it does not look like the uptrend is over. So going down to the 4 hour time frame is where we do see a break of structure to the downside. We see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We do see a break of structure to the downside, which is why I've been calling this possibly a wave B. But just looking at the shape of this does not look like a wave B. It looks like a trend, telling me that most likely this move down is a correction, and most likely it is going to go up. And if that does go up, then the dollar probably will end up turning down, so just keep that in mind. Going down to the 1 hour time frame. So really, honestly, we should probably get rid of this on the 1 hour. And we should be putting our Fibonacci on this move up. We may as well put it on the whole move up instead of just the last wave of the move. And I think what we should be doing on this one is we should be looking for longs. This move down to me really looks like a correction. We are already at the 38.2. If this makes an impulsive engulfing move to the upside, I would definitely take that as a long opportunity. It may just keep on trending up, and the US dollar may end a correction. So if this dollar ends a correction and this continues up, it would make a lot of sense. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Like I said, we have a lot of people talking right now, so keep an eye on all the dollar pairs, the yen pairs, even the pound pairs. We got people talking in Europe, we got people talking in the UK, we got people talking in Japan, and POW is also talking right now. So we got a lot going on for sure. So anyways, let's head down to the pound dollar and head back up to a little bit of a longer time frame. I want to see this on the shorter time frames also. So going up to about about the daily time frame, it really does not look to me like we have the end of anything. We are bouncing off a fib level here, the 50% Fibonacci extension, but to me it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. This move down is most likely a correction, and I still think it's going to end up continuing up. I still think it's like a 1, 2, and a wave 3 of wave 3. So going down to the 4-hour time frame. So I do believe there's a very good likelihood we are in a wave C right now. We have a very, very clear uptrend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, impulsive down with a break of structure. Most likely that is a wave A. Most likely this is 3 waves up for a B, and I still think this last wave down probably is the wave C. If it bounces out this, especially if we get a structure break, that's what's going to tell me that the correction is over. Now I'm not going to be going long until I see a structure break, because this very easily could stretch down into the 50 and maybe even lower. If it really is a 1 and a 2, a wave 2 can sometimes go all the way to the 70 and even 88%. So I'm definitely not going to be going long unless I see a reason to go long by the market telling me that the move is over by seeing a break of structure. So going down to the 1 hour time frame on the pound dollar is where you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. You can see the A, B, C of B. Actually a very clear downtrend and a very clear uptrend for the B. Now it looks like a 1, 2, 3. So really we need to see that 4 or 5, and then if we get the impulsive move up and a break of structure, that is exactly what I would be looking for the end of a correction and potentially the continuation of the uptrend. Like I said, I'm not going to be going long unless I see that, because this very easily could stretch out. It very easily could just keep on going. I am definitely just going to continue to go with the flow, and the flow is definitely telling me that it's down. So until we see a break of structure to the upside like this, whether it happens here or at one of these other Fibonacci's, I will definitely just continue to look for shorts in a downtrend until I see that BOS, break of structure. Aussie dollar. Aussie's been very, very weak. I still think there's a very good likelihood this is a 1 and a 2. Like I said, sometimes a wave 2 can go all the way down to the 78, 88, and sometimes even make a double bottom. So we definitely don't see any reason to think this is over yet. I still think there's a very good likelihood it will continue up at some point, but I don't really see that it's probably ready for that yet. I was thinking that, which is kind of clear on the 1 hour, but we definitely have a trend right here with a correction right there, and then another trend. So just like the other dollar pairs, it kind of looks like we're in like a 3-4 right now. So if we see a break of structure, especially if it happens at a Fibonacci level, then that probably would be the end of a correction and probably the continuation of the uptrend, probably ending a wave 2 and continuing up for a wave 3. So let's take it to the 1 hour, because that's actually a little more clear, I believe. So probably right there is the end of the wave A. That's probably the end of a wave B, and the fact that it broke structure up is telling me that it definitely is probably a wave B. So most likely we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, 3 waves up, A, B, C up for the B, and then it kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3 on this one too. Let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which may not even be over, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down. I gotta make sure I unmuted myself on Discord. I think I forgot. Yeah, I did forget. Sorry about that. I'm unmuted now. Sorry about that. Usually at least once a week I forget to unmute myself on Discord. Sorry about that. All the people that are watching this live stream from Discord. So until we get that break of structure, just like the pound dollar, I am definitely only looking for shorts in a downtrend, because this very easily could stretch out and keep on going down, maybe to the 78 or even lower. So I'm definitely looking for shorts in a downtrend right now for sure. So let's check out the Kiwi dollar and head back up to the daily time frame. I still think the Kiwi dollar is in like a wave 2 too, even though it's very strong to the downside. It definitely looks like a 1 down for the A, 3 waves up for the B, and then a downtrend for the C. It looks like a 1, 2, and then it's going to go up and make a 3, 4, 5. So my analysis on this one is definitely still the same. Even though that move down is very strong, I'm definitely looking for shorts right now, and if it just keeps on going down, then whatever, I'm looking for shorts anyways, so it definitely doesn't really affect my trading in any way. We have a lower high right here, but I am very, very confident that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a lower high, A, B, C. Probably the wave C is not even over. I would expect it to at least go to 78% before it breaks structure and ends up continuing the uptrend. So, 1 hour time frame. So it's pretty obvious that this is a wave 5. It even has a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave shape. That's just a lower high for the wave 5, which actually happens a lot, and especially in the Forex market. And then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, B, C of B, 1, 2, 3 of C. The wave 3 is probably not even over. It's probably eventually going to end up looking like that. If we do get that break of structure, then that's exactly what I would want to see for the end of a crescent and the continuation of the uptrend. Just like the other dollar pairs, I'm definitely not going to be going long until I see a break of structure to the upside, because we don't know for sure. This very easily could just keep on stretching out, and if it does, then we'll just continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. Not really too big of a deal. Well, the US dollar Canadian's definitely going up pretty strong. We may have to reevaluate that as being a wave C. I'll leave it there for now, but so I was looking at this one too as possibly being, even though it looks like a 1, 2, 3, there's always a possibility that this is actually an A, B, C. And if it is an ABC, then we'll get this break of structure, which it looks like we're already about to get. And then instead of making a correction, which would look like this and then go back down, we would get a very impulsive uptrend. So right now, I'm definitely looking for longs on shorter time frames. And while I'm looking for longs, I'm going to learn whether it does this, which is actually a very, very different shape than whether if it does this. So as I'm looking for longs on shorter time frames, I'm going to learn whether this is a correction to the downtrend or whether it's a complete trend reversal. So for now, I'm definitely calling it a possible ABC correction still. So we should probably put a, let me get rid of that. So we should probably put a Fibonacci on here from top to bottom, because we know that we got the end of a trend. And if we do get a Fibonacci bounce, then we will definitely be prepared to go short again. I'm not really too convinced. I thought maybe that could be a wave B because it made 3 waves down, but with how strong up that is, it may not be the case. It probably is going to go up and make some sort of a 3-wave pattern like I was showing on the daily time frame. If it makes a corrective pattern like this, then we'll know, something like this, overlapping corrective pattern, then we'll know it's a correction to this downtrend. If it doesn't do that, but instead makes a very impulsive uptrend, which is a completely different shape, then we'll know that this really is a wave C and that we need to start looking for longs in an uptrend. So we definitely got a very clear break of structure. This is the structure that I really wanted to see it break, which it looks like it is going to end up breaking that. So I don't see any signs of this being over, so I am definitely looking for longs right now. It very easily could just keep stretching out. Eventually, it's either going to make an A or a 1. Eventually, it's going to go down, make either a B or a 2. And then on the third wave is when we're going to really learn what it is, because if it's a wave C, it'll go up to a Fibonacci level and then break structure to the downside, continuing the downtrend. If it's a wave 3, then it will probably still bounce off some of these fib levels, but it will not break any structure. It'll just keep on making higher highs, higher lows, just like the shape I was showing on the daily time frame. The Aussie Swiss, I was thinking that this one was going to make a lower high and go back down, which it looks to me like a wave A. It looks like a A, B, C, a B. Let's go up to the top. We got to go to the daily, do a daily time frame down. To me, it looks like this has already ended a correction right here at the 50% Fibonacci level. It looks to me like, even though it's very overlapping on the shorter time frames, it looks like we're in a downtrend. The clarity really is on like the daily range for me, so as you go down, it definitely starts to look very corrective. But most likely, it's actually a downtrend, and most likely this move up is a correction to the move down. Is that the Swiss moving now, or is that the dollar? Yeah, it's kind of the Swiss. We got a little bit of a risk-on thing going on, most likely. So I think there's a very good chance that this is going to make a lower high. I think there's a very good chance this is going to make a lower high and end up continuing the downtrend. So taking it down to the 1 hour is where it looks pretty obvious to me that this first move up is an A, 3 waves down for a B, and then an uptrend for a C. You can't really say for sure that this wave C is over. If it makes an engulfing candle and closes low like that, then I would definitely at that point take that as a sorting opportunity, potentially for the continuation of the downtrend. So let's look at the US dollar yen, which is still trending up. Hopefully some of you all have been trading these yen pairs over the last several weeks. They have been very, very, very easy to trade. Nice downtrend right here, nice wave 1. I still think it could be a wave 1. I'm still looking at this as potentially being an A and this potentially being a B, even though I know that they definitely could end up being a 1, 2, and a 3. But for now, I'm definitely still calling it an A and a B, and this is potentially still an uptrend for the C. Just like some of these other pairs, if it is a wave C, then the market will prove that it's a wave C with an impulsive move down and a break of structure at a fib level, and that will tell us that the correction is over, the end of a wave 2 and the beginning of a wave 3. If it's not a correction and it really is a wave 3, then it will still probably bounce off that 78%, but it will not break structure. It'll just keep on trending up, making higher highs and higher lows. So as long as we pay attention to our structure, we should be able to figure this out pretty easily. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we're not respecting the 61.8, so we are most likely heading up to that 78% Fibonacci. Last structure level is right here, so even if it does go down, I think it's going to be another correction and another continuation of the uptrend. 1-hour time frame. So hopefully, like I said, some of you all have been trading these yen pairs. 1, 2, 3 waves down, impulsive up. It's just very, very simple. 1, 2, 3 waves down, go long. 1, 2, 3 waves down. Very, very, very nice pullbacks the whole way up. So I'm definitely still looking for longs right now. If it does go down, that's very good for us, because at the end of those pullbacks is where I'll go long again for the continuation of the uptrend. So I'm definitely still looking for longs unless it goes down and breaks that low right there. We do have the Bank of Japan speaking right now, so we do want to pay attention to pretty much everything right now. Like I said, there's somebody speaking in Europe, President Lagarde. We got Bailey in the UK speaking. We got somebody for the Bank of Japan speaking. And we got Fed Powell speaking right now. So we got a lot of news right now. All people speaking. Now, usually those speeches take at least half an hour to 45 minutes. And then it's usually the Q&A when the market actually does decide to make a move. So going back up to the daily on gold. I've been sticking to this analysis for a very long time. I think I'm probably one of the only people that think that gold is actually still going up. I think this is a trend. I think this move down is a correction to that trend. I think we can very clearly see a trend right there, wave A. This is definitely a very corrective pattern in the middle, wave B, and I still think that we're in a wave C. We are at that 61.8, so if it goes up, starts breaking structure, that will tell us that this whole correction is over, and at that point it most likely will be the continuation of the uptrend. 4-hour time frame is actually where you can see it a little more clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, B, C of B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. We are sitting right at that 61% Fibonacci level now. If we get an impulsive move up and we get a break of structure, that's going to tell me that this whole correction is over. If this whole correction really is over, then that most likely will be the continuation of the uptrend. So let's take it right down to the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, even the wave 5 has a trend. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5. If this goes up and breaks that wave 4, then that's going to tell us that this trend is over. Then if it continues to go up and break the wave 4 high, that's going to tell us that the whole trend is over. If the whole trend is over, then most likely the wave C is over, and most likely we are back into an uptrend. Now, I'm definitely not going to start going long until I see some of these structure breaks, at least a structure break for the wave 4 of 5, but it looks to me very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of wave C. It seems very, very clear that this is going to turn up. It is going to break structure, and it probably is over the next week or so going to start making its way up. So it seems very, very clear what's going on with that. So let's see here. I gotta see what's going on in the chats, see if we got anything new. Doesn't look like it, so we're gonna move on and start looking at some of these yen pairs. The yen, like I said, has been on fire lately. Hopefully some of you have been trading these yen pairs. Look at these trends. Definitely, I would never look at that right there and say it's time to sell. That right there, I'm still buying. I've been buying ever since the end of this correction back here, and I'm still buying. We're looking, it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3. So we are not respecting any Fibonacci levels. We're not breaking any structure. There's definitely no reason to think this trend is over. It definitely could make a pullback at some point, but there's definitely no reason to think this is over. Look at that trend. Ever since this last ABC correction way back here, it's just one big trend. And it does kind of resemble a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so maybe we will get a correction, but as long as it makes another higher low, 3 waves down and pulsive up, then I will just continue to go long at the end of ABC corrections, for sure. 1 hour time frame, kind of looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it does go down and break structure, then most likely it's going to be a correction to this whole trend, like an ABC, and then the continuation of the uptrend. So I am definitely still looking for longs. I would never go long right now. I would only go long at the end of pullbacks. I would never go long after a trend is started. I would only go long at the end of pullbacks. So there's been some really nice trades. You can go down to the 30-minute and just look. 1, 2, 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3 waves down. Even right here, 1, 2, 3 waves down. 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 Even right here, there was a little bit of a 1, 2, 3 waves down. Any one of those ABC corrections would have been a very, very good opportunity. I am definitely still looking for longs, so if I see another 3 waves down, another impulsive move up, I will continue to look for longs in an uptrend. Ooh, the pound definitely did make a move down today. But going up to the daily, you have to notice that we're not bouncing off a fib level, and we're not breaking any structure. Most likely this move down is just a correction, and it's going to go back up. Very, very, very likely. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, our most recent structure is way down here. This is probably just a wave A. It's probably eventually going to make a B and a C, and then I bet it'll go back up. So I'm thinking the 50% is a very likely place, because it's probably going to retest that 100% Fibonacci extension and then go back up. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, I think we're in a wave A right now, so I definitely don't think there's any reason to go long yet. We're probably going to make a wave B, and we're probably going to go down to at least that 50% level to make a wave C. Then if we get a Fibonacci bounce with a break of structure, we'll know that the correction is over, and I'll be prepared to go long again for the continuation of the uptrend. Aussie yen is definitely a little different, but a lot of that is because of the yen. So this one, if we get a structure break to the upside, I would start going long again. But until we get that structure break, I would definitely be looking for shorts. It kind of seems like it's more likely to go down more, probably end up looking like that, and then get that structure break for the end of a wave C and the continuation of the uptrend. Kiwi is also looking to me like it's in a wave B right now. This looks like a downtrend for an A. 3 waves up for the B. 1, 2, 3, probably 4, 5 of C. I think we're going to make a higher low, go up, break structure, and most likely end up continuing the uptrend. The Canadian yen has been a really good one. Look at that. That might even be another long coming. 1, 2, 3 waves down. If that starts to make an impulsive move up, I would take that as a long opportunity for sure. We don't have any structure break. We don't have any reason to think this uptrend is over on any of the yen pairs. All I would be doing is looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. And what else do we got? The Swiss yen. We already looked at the dollar yen. Look at the Swiss yen. 1, 2, 3 waves down, impulsive up. That looks like a long for sure. Perfect picture of a long. Looks like we had the most recent structure is really right there, which honestly it probably should be down here. With that Bank of Japan speaking, I would be a little bit cautious with these yen pairs, but that definitely looks like a long right there. It definitely made 3 waves down, impulsive up. The US dollar yen's continuing up. We might get a little bit of a long on all these pairs. This might just end up being a higher low for the wave 5 and then go up and break structure. If that's the case, it probably is the end of a wave C. I guess this could possibly be an ABC too. It's definitely 3 waves down. We're definitely at a Fibonacci level, so if it turns back up, that could definitely be a long also. And this one's kind of already going long, so I don't think I would rather see something like this before I went long and then go long for the continuation of the uptrend. So we just looked at all the dollar pairs, we looked at all the yen pairs. Now we're going to go look at, let's see what oil's up to. I thought that was getting close to ending some sort of a pattern too. Oil is a big mess right now. Honestly, I would really be staying away from this one if it was me. It looks like kind of like a barrier triangle right there because it's slanted on the top and flat on the bottom. It does seem to me that the most likely thing to happen is it's going to go up and make that wave B soon. But really, we haven't broken any structure to the upside, so the trend is definitely still down. So we have to be a little cautious on this because it looks like it needs to go up, but the trend is definitely still down. It looks kind of like some sort of a barrier triangle. Now, I was almost thinking that this was an ABC back here, and then a barrier triangle with a flat bottom and slanted top is usually a bear market triangle. So we have to be careful. This very easily could make a move to up, but that move up could be a crescent, and it could just keep on going down. I think there's actually probably a more good likelihood that that is the case. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, we had a break of structure right here, which would have made you think it was going up. But then what happened, if you were paying attention? 1 up, very corrective down, and then 1 up again, and then impulsive down. That was actually an ABC crescent, very, very clear. ABC crescent to this move down. And now it's back into a downtrend. So I wouldn't even think about going long unless I see a break of structure to the upside. If I do see that break of structure to the upside, I would definitely go long. And then we're going to have to just pay attention to see if it makes another 3 waves up and impulsive down, or if it decides that it wants to go up and break structure to the upside, which the daily, weekly, and monthly still look to me like it is more likely that it is going to break structure to the upside. So we'll have to see if that's how it turns out or not. Natural gas, I think, is in a wave C. I think this first move is an A. I think this move up is a B. And I think we're most likely in a wave C. So unless it goes way down here and takes out that low, I am definitely looking for longs. What we really should be doing is putting our Fibonacci on here from bottom to top. First move down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. 3 waves up for the B. With really no structure for the C, you'd have to go to a shorter time frame to see that. If it bounces off one of these fib levels, makes an impulsive engulfing move to the upside, I would definitely take that as the end of a wave C and possibly the continuation of the uptrend. For sure. Let's go check out Bitcoin, see what's up with that. I haven't looked at that in a few. I was thinking that we're probably in a wave C right now, and this wave C is probably not over yet. I think we need to get rid of this. And we really need to see this Fibonacci now. From the top. Oh, whoops, that's extension, sorry. We want Fibonacci retracement from the top of this trend to the bottom of this trend. And I think there's a good chance we're in a wave C right now. It definitely looks like a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is going to be an A, B, C, go up to one of these fib levels and end up continuing the downtrend. So it definitely seems pretty likely that that is the case. Oops, get rid of that. Daily time frame, that's why, there we go. So I think it's actually pretty clear what we got going on here. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up for wave A. Very corrective overlapping down for wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave C. It definitely could go to the 38 or the 50%. I think it's very likely to go to one of those 2 levels. Then if we see the impulsive move down with the break of structure, that is probably going to be the end of a wave B and the beginning of a wave C, which a wave C would go down and take out those lows. So going down to the 4 hour time frame, is where you can see this uptrend. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, probably a 1 of C. This is probably a correction, which is most likely not over, and then eventually it's going to go up for a 2, up for a 3. Probably a 1, 2, and 3 of wave C. So let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, most likely this first move down is a wave A. Most likely this move up is a wave B. And we're probably in a wave C right now, but I don't think the wave C is over. I would expect it to go down a little bit more to finish the C. Probably an ABC of 2, and then a break of structure to the upside will show us that that correction is over, and most likely will be the continuation of the uptrend. Like I said, probably a 1, 2, and wave 3 of wave C is what I expect to see. So let's see. We looked at all the dollar-yen pairs, so let's go check out the stock market, and then I got a couple requests to look at for my Patreon members. Yeah, I know, Menu was saying everybody's speaking at the same time. Kind of screws this up a little bit. For sure, everybody's talking at once. Ooh, that kind of looks like it ended a correction right there. Let me zoom way out rather than go up to the weekly. So I think this is very clearly a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yes, it's very overlapping, but often a wave A is very, very overlapping. A wave A of a correction, and then this looks like an A, B, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3 of C. I think we're going up to at least a 78%, and sometimes what we think is a wave B will go even further. So eventually I do think we are going to get a big push down all the way to the 3200, but we're probably not quite ready for that yet. We're definitely still going up, I think. I think this is an ABC correction. Went right down to the 61.8, made an impulsive move up. I bet this is now back into the uptrend. Still probably part of a wave 3. Look at that. That was definitely the end of a correction. Look at the break of structure and everything. That's a trend right there. Wave A. It's probably, at S, it probably ends right there. Probably right here. And then A, B, C, or B. And then that's a C. And then bam, impulsive up, break of structure. That should be the end of a correction right at the 61.8. This move down, I bet, is a correction to that move up. So if the stock market is getting ready to go up, then the dollar probably is getting ready to go down. They're very, very correlated. So we got a couple Aussie pairs to look at. I got the Aussie Swiss and the Aussie Canadian to check out. So we're going to go do that. And then we'll switch back to the dollar pairs, see if any of those speeches are causing any movement yet. Whoops, we gotta go to the Aussie pairs, go to the Aussie Canadian. We were just looking at this in my Zoom meeting the other day. Now, I hold Zoom meetings on Tuesday and on Thursdays for my Patreon members, and my Patreon membership also comes with a course with 38 videos over 7.5 hours of content, and you also get the members forecast, which I do the members forecast on all the yen pairs, all the dollar pairs, including oil, natural gas, and gold every single morning before the London session. And we also do a very short meeting in the morning, about a 20-minute meeting every morning, and I let my members know what I'm looking at, what pairs I'm watching, what time frames I'm watching, and what direction I'm looking to trade. So if anybody is interested in joining my Patreon membership, the link is in the chats and in the description. But like I always say, even if you do not want to join my membership, you can join my Discord channel 100% for free. You do not have to pay a dime to join my Discord channel. It's 100% free. We currently have 3,596 members, so almost 3,600 members. So hopefully by the end of this live stream, we'll have 3,600 members. So I was just looking at this with my members, with my Patreon members in yesterday's Zoom meeting. I actually got a little bit of a different opinion on this, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely looks like a trend right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got a correction. Then we have another trend, and then we have a correction, and then another trend. So it's very, very overlapping, full of three-way patterns. It looked like it ended a correction right there, but then it made another big push down. So we don't really know that this is over. I would probably still continue to look for shorts. Going down here is where you can start to make out this trend. Definitely no reason yet to think that this is over, really. So I would definitely be looking for shorts unless I see that break of structure to the upside. If I do see that break of structure to the upside, then it definitely could still be the end of a wave C and potentially the end of beginning of an uptrend. But I wouldn't be trying to go long unless I saw a break of structure. It very easily could just keep on trending down. The Swiss is very, very correlated with the Aussie Canadian too, so these are kind of the same. What's the Aussie Swiss look like? Oh yeah, this Aussie Swiss is the one that's been in that very odd looking pattern. It's definitely trending down though, and I don't think it's over. I think there's a good chance this could just keep on going down. It looks like an ABC up, so it may just keep on going down for sure. Look at that, 3 waves up right there, 1, 2, 3, right to the 38.2, impulsive down. That's going to at least go down and break that structure. So if that's going to continue down, then maybe this one will continue down also. And just keep on trending down. What's this look like? So yeah, like I said, if it breaks structure, then that would be the end. This one kind of the same deal. If it breaks structure to the upside, then that would probably be the end of this move down. But by the looks of it, it's probably more likely to continue to make lower lows and lower highs and probably just continue the downtrend. I really don't see any reason to think this is over. And honestly, if this one's not over, then this one's probably not over either. So I would definitely still be looking for shorts on both of these. So on the Aussie Canadian, if we get a break of structure to the upside, that would tell me to stop looking for shorts, and that would also tell me that it's potentially the end of a wave C. But if this does this, which it kind of looks like that is what it's forming, and then does this, then I would definitely go short. As long as it keeps making lower highs, I would just continue to go short in a downtrend. The Aussie Swiss definitely does have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shape though. And I could definitely make this out to be a 1, 2. This is all a wave 3. A, B, C of 4. 5. So I could definitely picture this one going up also and breaking structure. Maybe it'll just make a higher low on the daily time frame. That would definitely be a normal looking pattern if that is what it did. So if it does go up and start breaking structure, then I would start going long. But until that happens, I am definitely only looking for shorts in a downtrend for sure. So let's see. Just wanted to see if there's any more requests. We'll probably go back and look at the dollar pairs. Let's look at the yen pairs, see if the Bank of Japan is doing anything yet. Definitely just kind of sitting there in idle mode. Ooh, that looks like a correction. Look, that looks like it's going to continue down. Yeah, I think it's going to go up more. I think it's going up more. I don't think this trend is over at all. And what else do we have? We have pound speeds right now too. Ooh, that's a big move down, but that looks like 3 waves up right there. Ooh, that's definitely, I bet, an A. And then an A, B, C of B. And I bet right now we're in a wave C. So I think all the pound pairs are going down, but I think they're in a wave C. So I think there's a good chance that these pound pairs will, probably not today, but at some point very soon, maybe tomorrow or something, they will end the wave C and continue the uptrend. And we also have somebody in Europe, the Central Bank of Europe is also talking right now. And I definitely don't think there's any reason to think that this trend is over. 1, 2, 3. If anything, it's just going to make a wave 4 and a wave 5. So I definitely don't think that these trends are over at all. So let's go back to the dollar pairs. What's going on with the index? Oh, it's pushing past that 61%. This one is actually, for once, I think that the DXY is actually more clear. 1, 2, 3 waves down, wave B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Bounce off a fib level and then end up going back down. Which obviously these fib levels are not even set up properly because I pretty much never ever use the DXY. I always use the FXCM dollar index because it's equally weighted. So It's actually very, very clear right now, the DXY. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, you just have to go to this plus symbol right here, and what you would do is you have to, like, if you want a yen index, you have to make sure the yen is always second. If you want a dollar index, you have to make sure the dollar is always second. So for the dollar, you would have to put like EUR USD and then star EUR. You always have to make sure the dollar is second. So GBP USD star AUD USD star NZD USD star. Now we're getting into the ones where like you would put USD CAD, but if you did that, that would totally mess up your index. So what you have to do is you have to put CAD USD, which you can see that ICE does have a chart for that, and then CHF USD, and then JPY USD. Notice how the USD is the second currency in each one of these, and then once you do that, you just press enter and it will make an index for you. So this is the dollar index that it just made for me, which is actually quite a bit different than the one we're looking at. I guess it's really not that different, but it's almost the exact same thing as this FXCM index, but in reverse. But you can do that with any currency. You can do it with the Euro, Aussie, anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then looks like an A. It still looks to me like an ABC. A, B, C. Probably it's going up to that 50% level. We do have a couple gaps here and there, but I don't really believe that all gaps get filled. Most gaps do get filled, but I'm definitely not a big believer in gap trading. But it definitely looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C, and then break of such a down, and then bam, down it goes. So for once, the DXY I think is more trustworthy than the dollar index that I use. Now the Euro dollar, I don't think it's going to have time to make it all the way down. I think this right here is a correction, and I think it is going to go up, most likely turning at one of these fib levels. And the pound dollar is in a wave C, I believe. We were just looking at the pound index, and we said that it was most likely a wave C. Probably not even going to finish today. Probably going to end up looking something like that, and then going up. This one, yeah. It probably at this point is going to continue down. We'll see. If it goes up and breaks structure, I would definitely consider that respecting the 61.8. And I would definitely consider that the end of an ABC correction. But until it actually goes up and starts breaking structure, I would definitely be looking for sorts in a downtrend for sure. Same thing on this one, except for a little different shape. A, B, and now we're in a C. Probably more likely it's going to go down to the 78%, maybe even the 88%. To finish up wave 2 and then end up continuing the uptrend. US dollar Canadian, I still think, because all the other ones look like they're a wave C, that this probably is an A, B, and now we're in a C. Probably going to go up to like the 38.2. It's going to look like a wave A, but really it's going to be a wave C, and then it's going to end the trend and probably just continue the downtrend. US dollar Swiss, we have a little bit of a battle going on right here, but I think this right here is also an A. I think this is 3 waves down for a B, and it looks like a wave C. So I think this is also going to make a lower high and end up continuing the downtrend. And the US dollar yen, I definitely wouldn't be going short on this one, even though I think the dollar probably is going to go down. I would definitely only be looking for longs on all the yen pairs, like I said earlier. Rather than trying to focus on trying to trade some of these counter trend moves, so you would be making way more money if you were trading at the end of all these pullbacks. Gold is respecting the 61% level so far, and it definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. If we see an impulsive move up, we see a break of structure, that's probably going to be the end of that trend, and maybe even the end of a wave C. So we have about 10 minutes left, so if anybody has any requests, put them in the chats. I'll be more than happy to look at a few things since we have a little bit of time. None of my Patreon members are really requesting anything, so if anybody has a request, other than things that we've already looked at, then let me know. We've looked at all the dollar pairs, all the yen pairs. We looked at oil, natural gas. We looked at S&P 500. We already looked at all the dollar pairs. We already looked at all the yen pairs. So I'm probably not going to be looking at those again. I just barely, like 12 seconds ago, looked at the Aussie dollar. And not long before that, we looked at the US dollar yen. I'm definitely looking for shorts on the Aussie dollar unless I see a break of structure to the upside. There we go. There's one that we haven't looked at, the Aussie Kiwi. So yeah, we want pairs that we haven't looked at, definitely. This is one that we were also talking about in the group recently too, the Patreon membership group. I'll put that on there. I think that this has ended in ABC, which is a crescent to this move down. Looks like a wave A. Looks like 3 waves down for a B. Looks like an uptrend for a C. Impulsive down. I think this is now in a crescent to this move down, and I think it's going to continue the downtrend. So I would definitely be looking at this move up as potentially a correction for sure. So really on the sort of time frames, what we need to do is get rid of this Fibonacci and put this Fibonacci on there. So what do we have? We probably have a wave A. At some point we're probably going to make a crescent, which would be a wave B, and then probably up again for a wave C. Yeah, we already covered all the dollar pairs and the yen pairs. You may have to rewatch the live stream if you missed it. So most likely we're in an ABC crescent, which should be a crescent to this move down. ABC up, impulsive down would be probably a 1, a 2, and then go down for a wave 3. So I definitely think that we're in a crescent right now, especially looking at the daily time frame. I think we're in a wave A. Especially, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. Impulsive up, wave A. Probably this is all part of a corrective wave B, and then back up for a wave C. Which we would like to see that Fibonacci on this time frame. Which one was it? Give me 1 second, because we definitely want to see this Fibonacci on the 1 hour time frame. There we go. So most likely we're going up to a fib level, so probably something like this is probably pretty likely. And then a break of structure to the downside at a Fibonacci level will tell us that this whole ABC correction is over, and most likely will be the continuation of the downtrend. So that looks pretty clear. Let's go check out the Canadian Swiss, because we have not looked at that one yet. I don't like to look at things too many times. We've looked at the dollar pairs already twice. So you definitely, if you missed it, you can definitely rewatch the stream for that. Canadian Swiss. It definitely looks like a wave 5. I think we're going to go up and break this wave 4 structure. Did I not do the 1 hour time frame on that? We definitely looked at the 1 hour. Right there. 1 hour time frame. ABC up, impulsive down, end of a crescent. 61, 50% Fibonacci. ABC, and then back down. Seems very clear. I think that this right here is probably a crescent also. It looks like it's going to go up and break this structure right here. I think we got like an ABC and then back up. So I would be looking at this move down as a crescent to the move up for sure. This is probably a wave B right here. And then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. And then an impulsive move up and a break of structure would tell us that that ABC crescent is over. Yeah, I definitely think this is a wave B right here. I think that we're in a downtrend, which is probably not even close to being over, which should be a wave C. Eventually we will get an end of a trend for this wave C, which would, at that point, I would stop looking for shorts and I would start looking for longs again. So right now, I would definitely be doing nothing on this one except for looking for shorts in a downtrend. 3 waves up, impulsive down. 3 waves up, impulsive down. 3 waves up, short, short, short. Most likely all part of a wave C. Silver. Ooh, silver is looking pretty interesting. Gold and silver are very correlated, and silver definitely to me looks like an ABC correction. Wait to the 61.8. I think silver is getting ready to make a new uptrend. I think we might have already ended a correction on silver. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave A. You got an A, B, C up, wave B. And probably 1, 2, 3. Not really a wave 5 right there though. That's the only thing that doesn't look that clear, unless this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. It definitely looks like impulsive up, corrective down, so maybe we're in a wave 4 right now, and then it's going to go down for the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't think so. I think it's more likely this is going to go up and start breaking structure. Probably already ended a correction. Look at that, 3 waves down, 3 waves down, impulsive up. That looks like a long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, 3 waves down, impulsive up. It's either going to go up and make a wave C, which would look like this, impulsive down, break of structure would be my exit, or it's going to go up and make a wave 3, which a wave 3 would just keep on making higher highs and higher lows, and it would just keep on trending up. So let's see, not really much is happening, especially considering we got all this people talking right now. The dollar's not really doing anything. The yen isn't really doing much. Yeah, the euro's not doing much. That's because of the dollar. And then the pound. Pound is going down a little bit. So, like I said, usually in these big news events, we have all these speeches going on right now, these people talking. So usually it takes about 45 minutes for the speech, and then it takes about another 30 minutes for the Q&A, and then usually when the Q&A is complete is when the market will make a move. So it's been about an hour, so probably another 20 minutes or so. If the market does decide to make a move, it's probably going to be about another 20 minutes or so before it actually happens. So be aware of that. And then what do we have for the rest of the week? We have Powell speaking again tomorrow. We got CPI for the euro tomorrow. Well, for Germany, CPI that is. Bank holiday in Italy tomorrow. Unemployment claims. And then we got a bunch of stuff on Friday. We got CPI for the euro. We got core PCE, not really a big one. GDP for the Canadian. That's definitely a pretty big news event. So we still got a pretty decent amount of news for the rest of the week. So that's good for us. So definitely keep an eye on all these dollar pairs and yen pairs and even the pound and the euro pairs, because everybody has somebody talking right now, and when that speech is over is when we'll probably get an entry, if there is going to be an entry. So until then, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day. If you have not done so already, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you are interested, join my Patreon membership. This is where you'll get extra help with your trading course, educational information, twice a week Zoom meeting, members forecast area. So check that out. But if you're not interested in that, definitely join my Discord. It's 100% free. You do not have to pay a dime if you do not want to. 100% free to join. So definitely check that out if you're interested. My next live stream is on Friday, because tomorrow is my Zoom meeting for my Patreon members where I teach. So tomorrow is the Zoom meeting. So my next live stream will be on Friday. My normal live streams are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2:30 UK time, and then usually I try to do at least one live stream a week at a big news event, which this week we did the Canadian CPI news, and that turned out perfectly for us. So definitely tune into these live streams. We definitely, especially the ones around news events, we try to see if we can get opportunities. I think this euro dollar is going to go up. I think we're going to have a long on the euro dollar probably today, so keep an eye on that. So definitely like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see everybody on Friday. And as always, happy trading and good luck.